Hey, what is going on, Twintendo Nation? Hope you're having an awesome day. I'm sorry for not really uploading recently. I'm in Japan, so it's kind of been very difficult. I thought I'd have way more time than I have, and I've just been so busy. I kind of wanted to relax a bit and not actually think about uploading videos, but we got the announcement, the trailer, a couple of days ago for Pokemon Go Generation 4, and I've been working on this guide video for those who maybe haven't played Pokemon Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum when they came back out in like 2007, 2008, that time. And yeah, maybe for those who have played those games but want a bit of a refresher, I'm going to be going over basically just what Generation 4 is about, the evolutions of Pokemon from previous Pokemon, so ones from Generation 1, 2, and 3. We're going to go over the baby Pokemon that you can expect to find in eggs, and also some popular Pokemon, because the difference between Generation 3 and 4 this time around, the launch of it at least, we have trading straight from the get-go for Generation 4, so if you have certain Pokemon early on, the popular ones, you're going to be controlling the Pokemon Go trade market for sure. And finally, we're going to be talking about legendary and mythical Pokemon. In Generation 4, there are so many legendary and mythical Pokemon, 14 overall, 9 legendaries and 5 mythical, which is crazy to think that Generation 1 and Generation 2 only has 1 mythical Pokemon, which is Mew and then Celebi. So this is going to be a crazy generation for legendaries and mythical Pokemon. So if you do enjoy this video today and you find it helpful and you're looking forward to Pokemon Go Generation 4, make sure to hit the like button down below. If you want to see me do more Pokemon Go videos, I know it's been like a year, I've just kind of refound my love for Pokemon Go halfway through Generation 3 last time, and I couldn't really just jump back into it, halfway through generations. I've been waiting patiently since Generation 4, but if you do enjoy my Pokemon Go videos, like I said, I know it's been ages, make sure to let me know in the comments below, and obviously drop a like on this video, it'd be super appreciated. I'm kind of nervous, it's been so long, it's almost been a year since my last Pokemon Go video, so I'm just hoping you guys will appreciate them and like them again. And if Generation 4 does drop while I'm in Japan, expect a few vlog type of videos. I'm not like the most vloggy person ever, but who knows, I've got this camera, I've got Japan, it's kind of crazy for Pokemon Go out here, so yeah, I think it would be a very fun video. So let me know if you'd like that, especially if Generation 4 drops while I'm here. But enough about that, I'm going to get out your faces for a bit. We're going to talk about Generation 4 Pokemon, so let's do it. So for those who don't know much about Pokemon Generation 4, it was first introduced in the games Pokemon Diamond and Pearl back in 2006 in Japan and 2007 worldwide. These games introduced 107 brand new Pokemon, including 6 new baby Pokemon, 21 Pokemon that evolved from previously introduced Pokemon, 9 legendaries, and 5 mythical Pokemon. For a lot of Pokemon fans, Generation 4 is considered to be one of the best generations out there, and with a remake expected in the next few years, Generation 4 has arrived at a really good time for Pokemon Go fans. Now let's jump into the interesting part, evolutions of previous Pokemon. I hope you've been saving your candy, because as I mentioned earlier, there are 21 brand new evolutions. There are also a lot of new evolutionary items, so make sure you keep spinning those Pokestops. So these Pokemon are Mamoswine, which evolves from Piloswine. This will cost you 100 Swinub candies. Now in the games you'd evolve Piloswine to Mamoswine by leveling it up if it knows the move Ancient Power, but that shouldn't be an issue in Pokemon Go. Mamoswine has high HP and attack stats, so expect to see a lot of these in gyms. Roserade evolves from Roselia with the item Shiny Stone. Since Roselia has a pre-evolution introduced in the form of Bidgew, it might cost you a few candies to get Roserade. Also, I want to note that Bidgew, Roselia's pre-evolution, was quite a common Pokemon in Diamond and Pearl, so it's the only new pre-evolution of an old Pokemon line that isn't considered a new baby Pokemon. So potentially, we should be able to find Bidgew and Roselia in the wild when Generation 4 is introduced, so Roserade shouldn't be hard to acquire. Also, since there are shiny Roselias in Pokemon Go, here's what shiny Roserade will look like, so some of you lucky ones will have a shiny Roserade very early on. Next up is Miss Magius, which evolves from Misdreavus with a Dusk Stone, so this evolution will cost you around 50 candies with the Dusk Stone as well, so it's not going to be too hard to get this Pokemon. And another Pokemon that needs a Dusk Stone to evolve is Honchkrow, which evolves from Murkrow, which is fantastic because finally the annoying, difficult to catch Murkrow has some use. Also, like Roserade, players who have a shiny Murkrow will be able to get shiny Honchkrow early on, and this is basically what shiny Honchkrow will look like for you guys who are lucky enough to already have a shiny Murkrow. Next up is one of the fan favourites of Generation 4, Weavile, which evolves from Sneasel with the item Razorclaw, so this should only cost you 50 candies. Next up is an evolution of a Generation 1 Pokemon, Magnezone, which evolves from Magneton. To get this Pokemon in Pokemon Go, most likely you'll just need 100 candies, as in Pokemon Diamond and Pearl it evolves in certain areas in the games. I'm pretty sure it's Mount Coronet in Pokemon Diamond and Pearl, so you can't really translate that over to Pokemon Go, so it's just going to be 100 candies most likely. Following that is Licky Licky, which evolves from Lickitung. This should just cost you 50 candies and nothing else. Following that is Rhyperior, which evolves from Rhydon. This Pokemon will be really sought after as it is expected to have high CP stats. It also has ridiculously good HP, attack and defense stats in the main series games, so this will be a Pokemon commonly seen on gyms. To evolve Rhydon to Rhyperior, you'll need the item Protector and obviously 100 Rhyhorn candies, but it will be well worth it for sure. It's a very good Pokemon. Next up is Tangrowth, which evolves from Tangela, and I'm pretty sure most of us have a load of Tangela candies from just hatching them, and like Mamoswine, it evolves in the main games when it knows Ancient Power, but like I said, in Pokemon Go, this evolution should just cost like 50 Tangela candies. You won't need any items for these Pokemon, and the moveset really shouldn't affect its evolutionary status. Next up is Electivire, which evolves from Electabuzz with the item Electorizer. Jeez, that is a crazy sentence. That took me quite a few attempts. And most likely this will be 100 candies for this. And it's also Magmortar, which evolves from Magmar with the item Magmarizer. And that again will probably cost you 100 Magmar candies. Now next is Togekiss, which evolves from Togetic with a shiny stone like Roserade, and this should cost you around 100 candies. Also, since there's a shiny Togepi and Togetic in Pokemon Go at the moment, this is what shiny Togekiss will look like if you're lucky enough to already have either shiny Togepi or shiny Togetic. Now next up is Yanmega, which evolves from Yanma. This evolution should only cost 50 candies. And then next is obviously the fan favourites, Evolutions. We get 2 new Evolutions in Generation 4, and these are Leafeon and Glaceon. I've already got my shiny Eevee from Community Day saved for a Leafeon and a Glaceon, and I hope you saved your Eevee candy and your shiny Eevee too for obviously Generation 4. The next Evolutions we'll get are in Generation 6. It's just one actually, Sylveon, so there's only one other Evolution after this, and hopefully they'll add some more in Generation 8, but apart from that, you should have a few shiny Eevee left for those moments. Now next up is one of my favourite Pokemon from Generation 4, if not my favourite, and this is Gliscor, which evolves from Gligar with the item Razorfang, and this isn't to be confused with Weavile's item Razorclaw. They're 2 different items, and like I said, Gliscor is just one of my favourite Pokemon. Love its design, and yeah, if any of you guys get this early on, I'm going to be super jealous. But following that is the final Porygon evolutionary form, Porygon Z. You'll need 100 candies and the evolutionary item Dubious Disc. So hopefully that won't be too much of a problem. I think I have enough Porygon candies. Hopefully some of you guys do as well. Now following that is something very interesting, and this is a split evolution. So there are 2 of these. First one is Gallade, which evolves from a male Curlier. So normally it went Ralts, Curlier, Gardevoir. However, you have a male Curlier and you have the item Dawnstone and 100 candies, you'll be able to get Gallade, which is a very popular Pokemon. So if you get one of these early on and you might have one spare to offer to trade, you could probably get anything in the game. And there's also Frostlass, which is another split evolution. This evolves from Snorunt, and this has to be a female Snorunt. And again, it uses the Dawnstone, and this should cost you 50 candies. Following that is Probopass, which evolves from Nosepass. This should just be a simple 50 candies evolution, and that's it. And finally, there's the Pokemon Dusknoir, which evolves with the item Reapcloth and 100 Duskull candies. Now I'm lucky enough to have a shiny Dusclops already, a really nice red one, but unfortunately, shiny Dusknoir doesn't look that good. It's just more of a bluey hint. It kind of reminds me of Houndoom's shiny. It's kind of similar to that. So I'm not sure if I'll evolve my shiny Dusclops, but still, it might be worth having a shiny Dusknoir. It's a very cool Pokemon as well. So those are all the evolutions and all the new evolutions you can expect. Let's go over the 6 new baby Pokemon, so basically the pre-evolutions. So first there is Chingling, which is a pre-evolution of Chimecho, Bonsly, the pre-evolution of Sudowoodo, Mime Jr., the pre-evolution of Mr. Mime, which is kind of interesting because obviously Mr. Mime is a regional Pokemon for Europe. Will Mime Jr. be a regional egg? The first ever regional egg, I'm pretty sure. And then there's Happiny, which is a pre-evolution of Chansey, Munchlax, a pre-evolution of Snorlax, and this Pokemon is going to be a fan favourite as well. And finally, there's Mantike, which is the pre-evolution of Mantine, and you can get all of these in eggs, or expect to hatch all of these in eggs. So those are all the brand new Pokemon from old evolutionary lines. I'm not going to go over every single new Generation 4 Pokemon in this video, but I am going to mention some of the fan favourites because, as I said, the difference between Generation 4's launch and Generation 3's is that trading is now a thing from the get-go. So these are going to be the most popular Pokemon, most sought after in my opinion, from just, knowing, my knowledge about Generation 4 Pokemon. And if you have any of these, you'll be able to control the Pokemon Go trading market very, very early on. So the most popular and most sought after Generation 4 Pokemon, excluding the starters, the legendaries, are Lucario, which is, in my opinion, is going to be the most popular Pokemon. It has a movie about it, it's in Super Smash Bros, and it's still one of the most popular Pokemon of all time. It's just very, very well loved. Next will be Garchomp, which will be very highly sought after because it's essentially the Dragonite of Generation 4. And allegedly it's going to be better. It does have a big ice weakness because it's Dragon Ground, but it's still a very, very strong Pokemon. Now next is Luxray, which will cost you around 100 Shinx candies. Shinx is the first stage. It goes Shinx, Luxio, Luxray, and it's this big electrical beast basically. And it might not be the best Pokemon out there, but it's going to be very popular. And normally when you'd play through Pokemon Diamond, Pearl and Platinum, you could get Shinx very early on, and a lot of people would have Luxray on their team, myself included. So this is going to be a big fan favourite as well. So if you get Luxray really early on, chances are you will find someone who will really want one off you. Then there's going to be Rampardos and Bastiodon. They're kind of the dark horses, in my opinion, of Generation 4. They're the fossil Pokemon. I think some people will really, really want these because I really think their designs are very, very cool. And then out of the new evolutions that I mentioned earlier, probably Gallade, Weavile, Rhyperior especially, Mamoswine, Togekiss, and Munchlax will be the most popular Pokemon of them all. Now let's talk about legendary and mythical Pokemon. Generation 4 introduces a crazy amount, as I mentioned earlier, and we're going to get 14 new legendaries and mythicals compared to Generation 1's 5, Generation 2's 6, and Generation 3's 10. So the 9 legendary Pokemon are the game mascots and the creation trio Dialga, Palkia, and Giratina, the late guardians Azelf, Mesprit, and Uxie, and the final 3 legendaries are Cresselia, Heatran, and Regigigas. I know so many people in Pokemon Go hated the Regis when they were added to raids, but Regigigas is kind of like Slacking but on steroids, which is even, a scary thought. So that thing is going to be an absolute monster. Now, the 5 mythical Pokemon are going to be Manaphy, Fione, which hatches from an egg bred between Manaphy and Ditto, so I don't really know how that's going to work. But they're very closely linked, those 2 Pokemon, Manaphy and Fione. Then there's Darkrai, which is a fan favourite for sure. Shaman, which in my opinion, I'm just going to say will probably be the research task mythical Pokemon. But then again, I was thinking, are they going to have 2 grass, after Celebi? So it's either going to be Shaman or Manaphy, I think will be the research task Pokemon. But I feel like Shaman is more of a special Pokemon than Manaphy. I don't really know why. And then finally, we're going to be talking about the most powerful Pokemon in existence, Arceus. And this is going to be the EX Raid Pass Pokemon, no question. Arceus has the ability to become any type if it holds a certain item. So in the games, you would have plates because it can hold these certain items that would change its type. So you could have like a fire plate, sky plate, and you could become any type with Arceus. And that's not all. It has a very powerful move called Judgment, and that move would obviously vary in type depending on what plate you were holding as well. So if you're holding the fire plate, you'd be a fire type Arceus with a fire type Judgment move, and it's just crazy. And Arceus's base stats in the game are higher than anyone else's if we exclude Mega Evolutions. So that is Generation 4 in a nutshell. It's crazy, there's a lot to look forward to, and I haven't even really talked about a lot of the Pokemon, the new Pokemon you'll be seeing when Generation 4 drops in Pokemon Go. I've only really talked about the fan favourites, the Pokemon that you can expect from previous evolutionary lines. So there is a lot of surprises and a lot to look forward to if you've never played Generation 4 Pokemon games. But guys, if you did enjoy this Generation 4 guide, make sure to hit the like button down below and subscribe to stay up to date with everything Pokemon and Pokemon Go. But anyway guys, thanks so much for watching the video. Hope you have an awesome day, and I will see you on the next video. Peace!